One, and we are live on the eve of 2021's Big Brew Day. Welcome to a nice place to brew. I'm Jason.
I'm George.
What were you saying?
It's the eve of Big Brew Day.
Yes, it's Thursday. Saturday is not entirely upon us, but it's very much within view.
Yes, it is.
And for us homebrewers, this is the recognized Big Brew Day, which is a very exciting time, and hopefully one we can have great homebrewing times together, and that's going to feed into tonight's episode. So I'm excited about this. Welcome everybody. We do the webcast here every Thursday, available on Facebook and YouTube. Our YouTube page has all of our past episodes going back more than a year now. Plenty of content there. So if you can't wait until next Thursday, check out our YouTube page. Also like and subscribe. It really helps us. We have an audio podcast also under the same name, A Nice Place to Brew. We talk about all things beer and beer making on the audio podcast, as well as this here weekly webcast. So check us out there too. Our website is www.aniceplacetobrew.com, and our social media links are Nice Place to Brew and Nice Place to Brew. Welcome everybody. Hope everybody's having a cold beer and having a good week. George, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
So I have Keeper of Shadows from Seven Arrows.
Oh,
Black
wow.
IPA.
That's some nice can artwork.
Yeah. It's not printed. It's a label, but they did a really good job with it.
Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's 7%, 45 IBU, Black IPA. Comes out looking kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the flavor?
Good. Just a touch of hoppy. There's not a whole lot of fruity. You get a little bit of roasty from the black malt to give it the color and everything. But yeah, nice and clean. Quite good.
Nice.
What about yourself?
So I am drinking a New England IPA, which has been in the fridge for quite some time. And I was worried about opening this up and seeing what the hop character was going to be left as after that much time. And I'm pleasantly surprised that it came out quite good. This is called Loophole Technicality, made by our friends Hop Butcher at the World. And the hop combination is Amarillo, Strata, and Galaxy in a 7.5% double IPA. The flavor is very juicy, and the hop character is there, but it's not overpowering, which is, of course, my main complaint about many IPAs. So this one I'm very pleased with.
Yeah, sounds right on point for a New England like that. So, Yeah, good.
Yeah. Hello, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us. Drinking your New England IPA as well, huh? Nice. Cheers to you, sir.
All right.
Okay. I got one kind of fun thing to talk about as we get started here tonight. Polly will be joining us as well shortly. I think many homebrewers and craft beer people out there can relate to this. You find yourself in positions where you have a fridge or possibly beer fridge that just ends up getting crowded with stuff that you may or may not have intended to keep for a long time. Well,
yes.
Okay, so it's striking chords with people already. That is the case here in the Nice Place to Brew studios here in Darien, Illinois. And I'd like to share with everybody here on the webcast one beer that I've had for more than a year that I cannot bring myself to open because I'm simply scared to death of it. Okay?
What do you got?
So, this is the label right here. This is from a brewery called Hoppin' Frog. They're out of Akron, Ohio. And the name of this beer is a Plum Tuckered Out. It is a double porter, coming in at a whopping 16.8% ABV.
Whew.
And I do not believe it's barrel aged.
Well, 16% ABV, one thing you can say is it's not likely to have any infection in there with that much alcohol.
Nothing would survive.
Nothing would survive. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I feel the the temptation to open this just for the sake of not just trying it, but just to free up some space, because I don't like just clutter. And like I was saying earlier about just finding yourself with a whole bunch of leftover stuff, I don't like that.
Right. Yep.
Drink it, wussy. No, Polly.
Polly. Well,
I'd
that
be out
sounds
for a week.
That sounds like a special occasion beer. You open with a few friends you want to subject it to.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
So that will definitely be the occasion for that, and I will report back to see what comes of this.
How that goes. Okay.
So, okay. Paulie, I hope you're on your way, because this beer is getting warm and it needs to get back to the fridge. But I'm not going to leave George solo here on the show like Garth from Wayne's World. So.
Having a good time.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So T-minus 2 days to Big Brew Day, as we said, and thankfully my ingredients likely will be here tomorrow for the Cinnamon Saison, which has caused a little bit of excitement in the Midwest beer brewing world, which I appreciate, and a little bit of controversy, because there was some suggestion on how to potentially change the recipe. As I showed you guys last time, it's mostly Pilsen with a Vienna, caramel, and Carapils. And so the suggestion was to take out some of the caramel and add in rye, which I can appreciate the suggestion. However, I don't like the taste of rye in beer. If rye IPA, rye porter, rye whatever, it's not a good flavor in beer in my mind. So I respect the suggestion. However, I am going to completely ignore it and not include rye in my recipe. So I will put it out there for anybody that has strong feelings one way or the other. How do you feel about the ingredient rye, and to what extent in your beer?
This is a good discussion topic.
Yeah, I mean, so let's start with you, Jason. What do you think? Do you like rye in beer?
I'm with you. I've never had a rye beer in my adult life that I drank and was like, oh my gosh, I need more of this.
Yeah.
I'm not totally opposed to it, but it does nothing special for me. So I'm not going to do anything to seek it out or to, make a particular effort to drink a rye beer.
And I've done a little bit of looking on this, and other than the rye flavor, which, some people say can enhance certain styles, flavor profile, I can't find anything else that it would add. Like, you add carapils, it's going to add head retention and body. You add a caramel, it's going to add color and sweetness.
Yeah.
I can't find anything like that for rye malt, like what it will add that other than that flavor, which I'm not a fan of.
Just the rye character, that's it.
Right. Yeah. Now, the irony, I like rye bread. But just not in my beer.
That's fair. So this might be controversial, but except George, I think you would agree with this. If you want to create some either toasty or bready notes to your beer, biscuit malt is a great go-to.
That's not controversial at all. Love biscuit malt.
Yeah.
Bready. That give it that kind of dense mouthfeel, especially in a porter or a stout. Biscuit malt is awesome.
So am I off base here? Is that a really good alternative?
For rye?
Yeah.
Well,
I know the flavors aren't exactly parallel, but I do think like some of the overall flavor notes have some common ground.
Yeah, I mean that's where the controversy might come into play, because I don't know that I would say that it is, to be honest.
Okay.
Just because rye malt adds that unique rye flavor, and biscuit malt's not going to do that. And rye malt doesn't add that bready flavor, so they're kind of two different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just there is something about, well, and maybe I'm just attributing the rye flavor to the rye bread, which
Right.
you know.
I
can't
will,
totally
however,
ignore.
say that the idea of I'm looking at Northern Brewer's site, and one of the things they say is it's good for Rogan beers, and this annoys me a little bit. They call it a rye PA. They say it's good.
What?
Like, was it really that hard to say rye IPA that you had to say rye PA?
Is it wrong for me to just say I love hipsters? Is that
It
not
can be.
such a hipster statement?
It
Rye
is.
PA, man. Jeez.
Oh, man, that's funny.
I'm gonna catch some hate for saying that, but damn it, I stand by it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
all right. So yes, not gonna be a rye cinnamon saison this weekend.
No, just gonna be straight cinnamon saison. I am gonna toast the cinnamon sticks just a little bit, just to activate those oils.
Okay.
And then chuck them in towards the end of the boil. Let them do their thing, and cross my fingers that it comes through in the profile.
This is your first brew day since when was it?
October?
October. Wow.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple things have happened in my life, and tearing apart my brew setup, which I fully realize is a total cop out as far as like, oh, well, I can't because my brew setup is I could have set it up on my driveway.
Listen,
you know,
hey,
I fully
life happens.
realize that
Life
is
happens.
that is a cop out. But, you know, yeah, but getting back into it and doing that tomorrow. Now, my plan is, and I'm up for taking some suggestions from the Peanut Gallery here too, is in my setup I got a nice, you know, kind of bar table. I was thinking about setting up my laptop with StreamYard, and just kind of doing a continuous live stream of my brew day. People could pop in and out, ask me about my setup, about the process. I can talk about my beer profile, my water profile, and everything like that. If there's interest that way, I can certainly do that.
Okay. Raise my hand. Yes, there is interest.
Okay.
And this may be an offline conversation, but could I video in?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can jump in.
Okay. I'm not sure
may-
when I'll be able to or where I will be, but I would like to be a part of that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not sure when I'll probably get started mid-morning Eastern time and just go until I'm done. So
Okay. All right. I will be at the world famous Route 66 Old School Brewing by midday that day. That's the plan. So you may hear from me there, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We
All
shall
right.
see. More to come.
Yeah. No problem at all.
Ollie is coming
He
up on
claims-
15 minutes late. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he claims he's incoming, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good, Paulie. We're keeping the seed warm for you, sir.
So another, I mean, we're kind of all over the place right now, but it's fine. And another quick question for you. So, number of brew dogs you have can affect the number of decoctions you can do. Brew dogs always make brewing better.
Yes.
Question is, do brew cats have any effect on what's going on?
Oh boy. Speaking of polarizing topics. Oh,
Because
bringing
I'm
cats into this.
looking over at one right there.
Hey, cat.
She is fast asleep, and
Okay. All right.
so
All right. Can it be referred to as a brew cat if she's just hanging out sleeping?
that's what cats do, man. That's
Okay,
like, can it be a brew dog if it's chewing a stick?
Wow, okay. Brew dog chewing a stick is still, moving around, keeping things going. They're an active participant in the brew day. That's my point.
I see.
Are you participating if you're just chilling and sleeping?
She's keeping the mouse population down so they don't eat my grains.
Are you finding bodies around the house?
We have in the past.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We live out in the country, so we get the occasional field mouse.
Okay, all right.
And we have a cat, so
Yeah.
cats will happen.
I've never had a cat before in my life, so. But I hear the stories about such things a lot. And
Oh yeah,
it is a real thing. Okay.
yeah. So,
All right. George, dogs and cats.
dogs and cats, man. So you are, speaking of brew days, you're fixing to get one going yourself here shortly, aren't you?
I do. So
Okay.
I am in the middle of a diacetyl rest right now on the cream ale that I made. And I feel like I'm following a lagering schedule with this beer just because it's taken so long to get through fermentation. Because as I talked about on previous episodes, I accidentally cold crashed this beer during fermentation. Yes, I'm not proud of it. And, equipment did things I didn't intend for it to do.
Okay.
So I ended up, okay, I'll backtrack a little bit. I had a brew day. I landed with an original gravity of about 1060. And hello to Mr. Pauly from the world famous Route 66 Old School Brewing from the original studio in Joliet, Illinois. Hello, Pauly, and hello, Uncle Rick.
Hey, Uncle Rick.
Volumes turning up. Okay.
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 I gotta figure out some salad stuff. Keep talking.
You're doing
All right,
yeah.
sounds
Okay,
good.
it's coming in better. Okay, so after 2 weeks of fermentation and some admitted temperature issues, my beer had fermented from 1065 to 1040. That's it.
That's it. Wow. Okay.
So obviously something's very wrong. So I repitched a new packet of yeast, got the fermentation going again, and changed the temperature setup. The temperature stabilized and kept right where it was supposed to go. So the beer fermented over the course of 2 weeks from 1040 down to 1016. Okay, great. Exactly where I needed to go.
Yeah.
So I went from there to do a diacetyl rest. And I got a good 3-day diacetyl rest. And after that first test, I noticed this beer is a bit of a butter bomb.
Ooh.
So the rest was very much needed because I was fermenting originally at a temperature of about 58 degrees. So it's
low
within
for a cream ale.
Well, I intended for that though, because I mean, as a cream ale, you want something clean and crisp, and you're going to better be able to do that at the lower temperatures of the yeast.
What'd you use? Did you use 80?
So I used Y yeast 2565. That was the first pitch. And the second pitch was USO 5.
2565. Yes. There's other things that use those numbers apparently more than yeast.
Yeah, it's the Kolsch blend.
Use Kolsch yeast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, minimum fermentation temperature is 56. So yeah, I mean you were on essentially low and slow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
That's right. So so far so good. Just a delay. So I got through, 3-day diacetyl rest, and I'm doing the 5 degree per day drop down to cold crash right now. And I'm halfway. The temperature in the fridge right now is 55. So over the next 3 days, that'll get down to 40, and then be ready to carbonate.
You are kind of treating this like a lager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting.
Well, I mean,
why?
a Kolsch, is a beer that has some of those lager characters.
Yes.
And there's, it's like I said, about being clean and crisp. This is one of those ales that's going to show through with any imperfections. So I do feel the need to treat this fermentation and this stage very carefully.
So after your diacetyl rest, did you check it out and see if it was still
No,
buttery?
nope.
You
Just
did
taking
not.
my chances.
All right, rolling the dice. I like it.
Exactly.
All right.
What roll?
Well, but listen, if you read things about diacetyl resting, 3 days is pretty ample. Like most
Yes.
people will tell you that about 2 days should get you through where you need to be.
Yeah,
So-
I never liked should when it came to 5 gallons of beer.
Wow. Oh, you're calling me out. Okay.
What? You went 3 days, didn't you?
I did.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
you said,
oh,
2 days
oh,
should.
okay, okay.
I never liked should, so I feel like you did the right thing.
I thought you were calling me out for not sampling it.
No, well, I kind of am,
Okay,
but
all right.
I wasn't there.
All right, I'm under
All
attack
right,
here.
things are fixed, guys. Sorry about that. We had like technical difficulties on our end.
You are coming in loud and clear. What's going on,
Good.
guys?
Nothing. How are you?
Good.
So
Good.
all right. I missed what were we drinking? What are you guys drinking?
So I am drinking a 6-month, or I think it's about 6-month-old hop butcher called Loophole Technicality, and it is held up well.
Okay. To me,
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, oh, 6 months? I don't know. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have a black IPA from Seven
Ooh.
Arrows. Yeah,
I'm
which I was
drinking.
looking.
Stereo
What do you got?
Lagunitas.
Lagunitas.
Ah, okay.
I'm not at my place. I'm going to drink other people's beer. For a change.
Yeah.
What about you, Uncle Rick?
I like it.
I like that a lot.
He's drinking the same thing.
Oh yeah, I tried these and I just got Polly to try it.
Oh, right
I
on.
like it.
Okay.
So Paul, you heard my explanation of this Hop and Frog beer?
Oh, the plum one? Yeah, drink it, wussy. Just drink it.
Nope.
Don't
All right,
be
now that you're
scared.
here, I'm going to run upstairs and put this back in the fridge so it doesn't spoil.
All right. So, Polly, how'd you get a leave from the brewery? You were there like 7 days a week.
Well,
I kidnapped him.
he did. I went to work. I went to work at 7:30 this morning, and got 2 days worth of work done in one day. So
Okay.
I cleaned 10 kegs, cleaned and sanitized 10 kegs. I kegged up one fermenter, which was 5 kegs, and put the other one in storage. And then I cleaned that fermenter, and now I'm here.
Okay. The glamorous life.
He
of
did
a
all
brewer.
that to make sure he could be here with you, George.
Yep. You and George and Jason. And oh my God, I watched that show last week. I had a lot of fun watching it because I was kind of like, I felt like I was a dad yelling at a football screen. What are you guys talking about? Really? No. I'm glad I wasn't a part of it. That's all I gotta say.
You were Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah, I was Monday
Yeah.
morning quarterback. Exactly.
I grew up with a dad very much like that. In fact, he may be watching, and so I'm very familiar with that.
Like I started the first half and then I finished it up yesterday. Yeah, I finished it up yesterday. It was funny because I was like, wow, I'm glad. I wish I was on it, but it's kind of fun to yell at the TV for a minute. Watch it playbacks.
Okay, so you were yelling at us. I assume you had some differences of opinion. Like, where were we going wrong?
Number one, you're blaming your amount of drinking homebrew on COVID.
I'm blaming my ability to get through 5 gallons of beer by myself before I get sick of it and want something different on COVID.
That is a very
All right.
fair answer.
But I can get that. But you don't have like backups to drink otherwise. I've never had that problem with a 5-gallon keg on my own.
Yeah, I rarely do too, but I think that's just in combination with my lack of continuous brewing that I didn't have options available to me. I just had the one, so.
I got it.
I blame mine on research.
On research.
Yeah, he overthinks everything.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I've noticed.
Oh yeah.
We have a few similarities there, Joe.
So anything else? Any other critiques from the peanut gallery?
That was about the only one I was really worried about. Like the food thing I liked, and then when someone said that, like he said goes, and then I think Becky reascended. I'm like, yeah, I can kind of get that. When I think it was the white fish and the goes. Is that what you guys were talking about?
Oh yeah, the white fish with pilaf. Yeah.
Pilaf, yeah, and the goes. But otherwise, I love to meet her. She just
Yeah, I
comes out
thought
of
it
her.
goes or Cezanne.
Yeah.
You know?
I could see that.
And I didn't. I was kind of surprised that it went a totally different direction. But
Well, she's still in training.
and I'm old and my taste buds are bad. I took that off flavor test thing and I flunked it gloriously.
Century class,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, that's hysterical.
The one time I took that off flavors class was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And we'll see if I got better or worse over the last 5 years pretty soon.
So I remember you guys were talking about the Big Brew Day. I looked at those recipes. What are there is one I still have on my computer that I kind of want to use.
Okay.
I think it was the hazy one. Sunshine, something like that. Because they had like 3
from this
recipes
year?
on the AHA for the Big Brew Day on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, so I tell you what, I looked up those recipes, and I can't remember if I was commenting on the show or to somebody else, but they're not easy.
No.
Yeah, they are. I get that. They got a bunch of steps in them, but you
Yeah.
can simplify it too. If you know the process enough, you can simplify it to a point.
Sure. I mean, you can, but when you're talking about an aggressive hop schedule like both of them have,
And one of them is a brown ale.
and one of us brown, and one of them required a whirlpool.
No, they both did.
They both did. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, I get that they have extract and they have this all grain recipe. And so, like, but there's nothing in the middle. You know?
All right. Maybe I had to look at the recipe that quickly. I looked at it. I'm like, I was more worried about the hop schedule and whatnot.
All right.
Yeah.
I got him here. So I'll share them. I'll share my screen here. So. Zoom in. All right.
Okay, this is just the first one, right?
This is the brown ale.
This is the brown ale. Okay, great.
All right. So
Without even looking at the steps, okay, you have 6 different hop additions for a brown ale.
right. That's a lot, and one of them's a mash edition. Like,
Yeah, well,
what novice homebrewer would look at that and go, "When do I do that? What's happening there?" You know.
yeah, I get that. 60, 15, 10, dry hop. But besides the mash, it's about the same, because you got your bittering and your flavor and aroma additions,
Yeah.
and then your dry hop. So,
Now that I see it again, this is what threw me the first time I read it. Is that it's a hop back edition with whole hops.
oh God, right?
How
What
many?
home
I
brewer's
don't
gonna do
have
that?
a hop back to filter whole hops through on the way to the fermenter. I couldn't do this recipe as described.
So, can somebody give a textbook definition of hop back addition?
I can.
Go ahead.
A hop back is another vessel that you run your. It's kind of like a whirlpool. So you're running your boiling hot wort through another vessel that's packed with a bunch of whole leaf pops, and then it drains out of there and then goes in the fermenter.
Yeah.
Kind
so
of like a firkin. Does that make sense? You know what a
It's-
firkin? Not a firkin.
no, not a firkin.
That's
No, it's not a
mini-
firkin. Then you pack hops in. I've seen that a million fucking. Well, regardless, you're taking your boiling hot wort, you're running it through a vessel full of fresh hops, and then right back in the fermenter and chill it.
Right. So let me.
A Randall. It's a
Randall. That's what you're thinking of. Yeah.
Yes.
So here, let me show you something slightly different.
Okay, this recipe just keeps getting more complicated.
So this is kind of a hop back. Work goes in,
Yep.
the hops are here, and then you have a filtered screen on the way out that then goes into your fermenter.
Correct.
So you can build them. You can obviously you could buy them. I'm sure Blickman has one, but you can build them and everything. What I'm saying is, this is not entry level stuff. This is
I get that.
advanced home brewing, in my opinion.
This is very advanced home brewing.
So, but yeah,
is that
people's heads right now?
So let me throw this out there. Is that part of the aim of Big Brew Day? Is to present these very, very advanced recipes and challenge, the advanced home brewers out there in the country?
It could be. It could be.
I wish Eric
actually,
were on the webcast.
George, go back
I would
down
love
to
to
the
ask
yeast.
him that
That
question.
kind of caught my eye. Sorry.
They give you a couple options, which is nice. They didn't used to. But yeah, if you're
White East West Coast, you got
White Labs,
Layla West Coast, White Lab 001, US05.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's kind of cool. I've
They
never
even
heard
get-
of 1217.
this
Yeah,
is new too from what I've seen. I don't remember them giving a water profile before either, but that's kind of nice.
Well, what's that water profile from what?
For your brewing water. So that's your target.
You need that ppm for each one. All right.
Yeah, that's your target water
can see that
profile. So if you
challenging
plug that
people,
into
yeah.
brewing water or Beersmith, that's your target. So you can tune your water profile to that.
Okay. You got OG at 1074, final of 18. All right. 7.4 sounds about right. Huh. That's kind of interesting. I haven't looked into it that much. I kind of breezed by it. And
Yeah.
the hazy one caught my eye.
So we'll say if someone wants to do this and they don't have a hop back, don't want to feel like figuring out how to build one, my suggestion, and Polly, you can tell me what you think, make this instead of a hop back edition. If you're able to do a Whirlpool, make it a Whirlpool edition. If not, do this edition with pellet hops at knockout, at flame out, and
I agree 100%. Yep. Whirlpool or flame out.
yeah, Whirlpool or
That's
flame
the best
out if
way
you
to do
don't
that,
don't feel like investigating a hop back. So that would be, yep.
I can get behind that one 100%.
Okay, let's see if we can. So this is the hazy that caught your eye, the Stargazer. Now this is a hazy. So number one, hazies are a little bit more advanced from a brewing perspective, so I'll give it some credit there. And hazies always have a ton of smaller addition of hops. So I feel like of the two, this is a little bit more reasonable. What do you guys think?
I agree with everything, except why are you bittering with 1 ounce? You should only do that like 10 to 15 to go. All the Whirlpool and the dry hop, although day 2, day 4. So I'm thinking that it's dry hop at day 2. That might be the high Croisen edition.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Active fermentation. And
Yeah, this is your high
hopping.
Croisen. Yeah.
Yep. And then right below that is your double dry hop.
Right. And so for people who
Why
don't
the
know,
hell are they telling you to use Kolsch yeast on this fucking shit?
it's a good question.
I'm just looking
It
at
is
the
a good
bottom like,
question.
whoa. Why? I know what I use for my hazy. I would never use Kolsch yeast on that. Kolsch
Yeah, it's not
soup?
like it's a cream ale. Anyway, but in case anybody's not aware, like, a lot of times when we think about dry hops, we think about doing that in a secondary. What they're actually saying here, unless I miss my guess, is not to ferment it and then dry hop in your secondary. This is saying dry hop in your primary as you're fermenting, which is a common technique for New England IPAs. And, usually after a bit of rest, you start to get that yeast activity, you get that big foam layer, what's called high kreuzen, and that's what Polly's referring to as to when you throw these hops in.
Yep. Exactly. That's what it is. Thank you, George.
Yep. So, Polly, quick question on that. And Jason, I think you've made a New England before. I've actually not made a New England myself.
Only once.
High Kreuzen edition. Does that tend to cause more activity that people have to worry about headspace and blowout and things like that?
The only thing you might want to worry about is your bubbling. Because I don't, keep in mind, I don't use
Airlock.
Airlock, thank you. I use blow-off tubes. It'll cause a big bubbling, or it might have to change a bucket to a bigger bucket.
Okay.
Because as soon as you add, like when you're fermenting, and as soon as you add all them hops and all the change that happens with the alpha acids and the active fermentation, it starts going crazy. Like the one video I shared a few shows ago. Like that was when I added the hops. That's when it was really going crazy.
Okay. It's kind of what
And
I thought.
One other trick I would say, after your high kreuzen edition, secondary it, and you do your double dry hop, seal that off. Don't even put an airlock on it. You want to save all those oils and everything that are getting vented out. Those get absorbed back into the beer.
So you're saying after this edition, just seal it up?
Exactly.
Do you think people would get? Do you think people would have enough built up CO2 that they would have to worry about blowout?
I haven't had to deal with it on a home brewer on a pro scale yet. I haven't blown up a tank or made a mess of my carboy.
Okay.
That makes sense? Because it's very little bit that's coming out. It's that double dry hop is just like a dry hop. When you're secondary getting off the yeast and putting the hops in there and then kegging it. Do you ever see that bubble go off crazy? No.
Right. So is this so I understand that it would be hard to describe in a recipe, but would you say that if to be more accurate with this recipe, the first hop addition in the primary would be at high kreuzen, second hop addition would be like 3/4 of the way through the fermentation? That might not be day 2 and day 4, but that'd be more accurate to when you want to put it in.
I would wait till fermentation's over.
Wait till fermentation's over. Okay.
Correct. Wait till fermentation's over. And like sometimes I've secondaried it, or I do a yeast off to get the yeast out of my fermenter, and then I'll put like, what we got here, 3 ounces. I put 5 pounds in your 3 ounces.
Right. Well, yeah.
Of dry hop. Still not huge, but.
All right.
Zamba. Where's Zamba from? Hilarious. I don't know where Zamba was. Although I did just do a beer with some Southern Hemisphere hops, which I'm really excited about. Southern Passion and African Queen.
So, Jason, that Brew cat that does nothing but sleep is now walking around my feet. So
okay, so she's an active participant in the webcast now. Okay,
she is an active participant in the webcast,
so she can be called a Brew cat.
Okay, I did hear. I was listening to this whole Brew cat because I had 2 or 3 cats. Those things are awesome. They're like have you ever been to a brewery sitting there hanging out and cat jumps in your lap?
Only Metal Monkey.
Oh, well, and the distillery down in Tennessee, remember they had a couple cats.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of cool. You're sitting there hanging out, having a beer, cat jumps in your lap. You're like, hey, how you doing? You pet them. And then they move on to the next person. They're kind of like whores.
Well, that's a cat for you.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a barn cat that lives around us that I'm trying to encourage to move in so he can keep an eye on my brew setup and make sure no mice get in or anything. I've got everything sealed up, but still. You know? So Zamba is a juicy tropical fruit hop that evokes pineapple and mango, stone fruit, candy, and orange tangerine. And apparently is only available from BSG.
Okay. So
I'm
definitely
not worried
tropical.
about that. So
Yeah.
I can get it. So
I wonder what is the if people can't find Zamba, what could they use instead?
but if they go to a local homebrew store or even online, they're getting their hops from BSG.
Oh yeah,
That's one
yeah.
of my bets.
Yeah.
BSG, Yakima, and what's the other one? There's like 3 or
Country
4
Rock.
major ones.
CMG, BSG, Yakima, Michigan Hop Alliance, Hop Havoc,
Yeah,
Omega, Y Yeast, Fermentus, Colorado, Yeast something. There's a bunch of them out there.
yeah.
Imperial. I wish I could get some Imperial from California. They have a lot. They've resurrected a Y Yeast strain that was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what was it? Y Yeast. There's a Zappa reference. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I might blur it out later in the show.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, those are the recipes, the official recipes for Big Brew Day. But to be honest, the important part is just to get people brewing and having a good time and sharing homebrew with the world. So just go out and do that.
And remember to check out our YouTube page during the day because George will be brewing in the Virginia shed.
Pac-Man. Why use Pac-Man yeast?
Pac-Man, okay.
I told you it was coming to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
So I'm going to do the simulcast, so it'll be on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, great.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So this is a fact about Big Brew Day that I honestly don't know. Is there any kind of competition among homebrewers who make the Big Brew Day recipe?
I've not. I mean, I imagine there's like local ones that clubs will come up with. Like everybody make a Big Brew Day recipe, and then we'll judge them and things like that. But I don't think I've heard any like official national kind of competition on that.
Paulie, have you been around one?
What? Competition?
Competition for the annual Big Brew Day recipes, either at a national or local level? There's nothing like that?
No, nothing like that. I'm just gearing up for Great American Beer Festival right now.
Oh, yeah. What are you making for GABF?
Oh, I haven't even thought that far. I have so many ideas. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so by gearing up, you mean you're kind of getting the gearbox ready, shaking the clutch,
Oh yeah, we're doing a homebrew competition. I don't know if you guys know about that.
I think Jason is brewing for it. Yeah.
What you should brew for it, George, too, and send beer to me.
Well, maybe a cinnamon saison will come your way, and maybe in return, a snow globe will come my way. But
we'll figure it out one way or another. No, we're doing a homebrew competition. We're about halfway filled. 20 brewers or co-brewers or whatever. 20 entries. We're gonna judge it, and then we're gonna have a little private party with all the homebrewers and sit around, drink your beer. Our beer will be available, and then we'll go out and we'll announce the winners. And next thing you know, some lucky brewer will be brewing beer at my little homebrew thing. That's a very advanced homebrew rig.
Okay.
I'm only doing 100 gallons. I'm not doing 5. I'm not doing like 16 barrels. I call myself a glorified homebrewer right now.
Okay, all right.
Only 100 gallons.
Only 100, yeah. So, are Jason and I eligible?
So
I feel
we
like
came
there's some
for
conflict
Jason,
of
yeah.
interest there, you know?
What?
I said, are Jason and I eligible? I feel like there's some conflict of interest there, you know?
Well, no, because I'm not judging, first
Okay. Okay.
of all. And it's all about the pro brewers. So you guys want to go together? Don't say Jason and then George, co-brewer. You're a brewer, you're a brewer. You go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Randy and I entered.
Yep, we
Just
got
so you know.
we got
So,
the peanut gallery in the competition.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go with a peanut saison.
Yeah, don't say what you're doing. I don't care because I'm not judging. So
I'm trying to think what a peanut saison, how that would work, or if that would
Oh,
work.
wow.
No, you can't say it properly. It's got to be saison.
Saison.
You gotta
Cieza.
mispronounce
No.
it.
For our buddy Glenn or Greg, Cieza.
Oh, that's creative. So my grandfather had his first introduction to saison out at the Roundhouse. Two brothers. Jason was there, and for months, years afterwards, he's like, "Oh man, I really like that French beer that we had." He would just call it that French beer because not only is it a saison, you know, notoriously French style, and but the name that they gave it, which I can't remember off the top of my head, was very, very French as well. So it just stuck in his head that way, and it made me laugh.
I do gotta show you guys one thing because
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of this.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Got a couple glasses. So I'm getting golden ale from the brewery. 8 pounds of honey in it, 6 pounds in primary and 2 pounds in secondary. All right, everybody, if you're
Pounds
getting a
of
growler
oh
from
my
it,
gosh.
make sure you keep it carbonated or keep it refrigerated. So don't start carbonating. But I just go out and show you guys this.
Okay.
I'm kind of proud of this. I don't know why Uncle Rick has frozen glasses. Takes away
Because
from
they're in the
color.
freezer.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
No, no, not at all.
Oh, he's not.
I know lots of
He's
people
not.
that do that.
Not
Well,
that they should, but
I
if it's
don't
in the
put 'em
freezer,
there
it's going to be a
intentionally.
frozen glass.
Yeah.
It's just a clean place to put them and keep them.
Look at that color. Nice
Yeah.
and golden color.
Yeah, it is.
That is nice.
Jason, you can try it when you come down. George, you might get a mystery.
Oh,
snow
sure I will.
Don't worry, George. You'll be up here. You'll see what's going on down there.
Show them your glass.
Oh yeah. Actually, no. As I calm down, a little bit more golden.
There you go.
I mean, where it's from.
Where it's from? Oh, Corpus something, Texas.
Corpus Christi, Texas. Lorelei
Oh.
Brewing Company.
Okay.
Uncle Rick,
Glasses
glass.
travel.
We go. I have a daughter lives in Texas.
Take over.
Right? She works at the San Antonio Children's Hospital, and
Okay.
when we go down there to visit her, we go to Port Aransas, Texas, which is you're familiar with Padre Island. It's the other end of Padre Island. It's kind of like the tourists go to Padre Island, and the locals go to Port Aransas because it's cheaper and cooler, kind of.
Okay.
But seriously, if you ever get down that way, you should check it out. It's pretty amazing, all the stuff down there and everything. And as you cross from the island back to Corpus Christi on the big bridge, just as you get off the big bridge, right there is this brewery, and it's a pretty cool little, very small brewery.
What was the name of it again?
Lorelei.
Lorelei. Okay.
Yeah,
Do you know
like
that
the
one,
Stick
Jason?
Song. Yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
Lorelei, Lorelei Brewing.
Okay.
Near
Corpus
Corpus
Christi.
Christi. Okay,
Texas.
right on.
Like
Speaking
I
of,
say, when you come off the bridge, it's like it's right there. It's so close to the water. Now I have no idea about their water profile or whatever they're doing. But
Yeah.
the beers I had there were pretty good, and the people I talked to there were pretty cool, and
nice.
they were very interested in entering in competitions this far north, which kind of surprised me for as small
Wow.
as that.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were like, "Yeah, we like to try some of that."
Speaking of breweries that we've run into recently, or I guess not recently, but that we've run into, if I can wax poetic about two in my region.
Sure.
Um,
Of course.
First one is Anderson Valley. I had this Blood Orange Goes.
Look at that artwork.
Screw
I
blood
know.
orange.
And it's it is 4.2%, 120 calorie, nice, easy drinking beer with blood orange and Chinook, and I did actually have it with a grilled chicken. So I followed the food pairing guidelines there, and it's quite good. It's very not super tart for a goes. Definitely a lot of blood orange flavor, and one that I definitely enjoyed.
What
So
did you pair it with again?
a grilled chicken,
Grilled chicken.
yes. And then the other one is a bit of an unfortunate thing, but I got to give a shout out to these guys. After 6 years, Spencer Devon here in Fredericksburg is going to be closing their doors. And it's unfortunate. They always had a great atmosphere, good restaurant, and beyond that, they were more than willing and happy to share their recipe with me, talk to me as a home brewer, and sample the beer that I made based on that. And anytime a brewery is willing to do that, any home brewer is going to be extremely grateful to them, as I am, and they will be missed. Fredericksburg has its fair share of breweries, and so we will not be left in a lurch. However, I do think we are losing one of the good ones in Spencer Devon.
Oh, that's sad news.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Is anything else going into that space? Does anyone
Don't
know?
know. Something's going to. It's right, Caroline
corner,
Street,
isn't it?
Yeah, not exactly on a corner, but it's in a prominent area. Something's going to go in there. What,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
What were you saying?
I'm sorry
Uncle
to hear
Rick?
that. Hey, George, how long have you lived in your place in Virginia?
We've been here for almost 4 years.
Like I said, Uncle Rick just asked,
Yeah,
like
okay.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So
I thought you were a more recent transfer from this area. That's why I asked.
2017.
yeah, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying I thought it was like just like a year ago or so.
It sometimes feels like it.
So
I know, right?
Uncle Rick and
What do you
Polly.
miss most?
Not the weather.
Screw you.
When you think of why Illinois is losing
Okay,
the
his
congressional seat,
transmission went out again.
No, you can't put that on me, Jason.
all I'm saying is, look here, look here.
Yeah, it has been a little better.
Because people are leaving, and George is one of them. That's my point.
Yeah. Well,
Hi, Sasha.
not leaving. Oh, Sasha, is that the kitty? Where's the kitty? Oh, pretty.
There she is. Yeah.
That's a furry kitty.
Oh, I got a soft spot in my heart for cats.
Does she brew?
Yeah.
She's a brew cat.
Yeah.
All right. Wait till you gotta wash cat hair out of your fermenter.
Yeah, well.
I've had to do it. I've had 2 cats for over 10 years, so well now I'm down to 1. But yeah.
We
They're
have
cool.
a husky. We have
Kiwi.
yeah. What do you call can't think of the name of the things. Tumbleweeds. We have like fur tumbleweeds go by with the husky.
I was wondering where
It's
you were
like-
going with
Yeah,
that.
it's not like a cat. It's little fur. No. There's like this.
It's constant.
Is that
isn't
another
it?
animal? No. There's just some shedding.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So Jason, you told me that you at the beginning that you're brewing for Polly's competition, but you didn't tell me what. And do you have a recipe to share?
I don't have a recipe just yet. They are
Okay.
focused on autumn beers.
Autumn.
Yep. So
Stouts, porters, Marzens, best beer.
I thought you had the list what you were
Porter
brewing
and stout.
when you acknowledged. So we did. Randy and I did that.
Okay. Spiced saisons.
Nope. Sorry, George. Nope.
I think that qualifies under the fest beer, doesn't it?
There you go.
Okay, that's what you're talking about with a French Saison.
A French fest.
A spice Saison.
Yeah.
No.
A Parisian fest.
we did just get a home brewing question.
We did, yeah. So you want to
All
share
right.
that?
As long as you keep your bucket non-scratched, why are you gonna spend that money?
It's a good
Do
question.
you want the ease?
Yeah.
Do you want the ease of yeast dumps and all that? I can say that, but being a home brewer, I wouldn't spend the money on stainless steel fermenter, mechanical.
I'm kind of with that.
Yeah, I think there is a place in between. Like there's glass carboys and hard plastic conicals that don't cost nearly as much as a stainless steel, but they give you a lot of those extra benefits.
They do.
Yeah.
And if you want to do a yeast hop and save yeast, yes. Let's go with it. But
Yeah.
just a regular home brewer, no, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I never liked brewing in a bucket because I couldn't see what was going on.
Were you one of those assholes that I see on social media with the bucket open and taking a picture for selling? Is
No,
this
because I never
infected?
brewed in a damn bucket. I always
Yeah.
had a glass carboy or something so I could see what was going on.
Yeah. No, it took like even when I was burning buckets, I'm like, no, can't do it. And then when I finally looked at it, is when I opened it up to put the autosave in.
Yeah.
And you still,
Go ahead.
you still kind of keep it over so you don't see it. You look down and I'm like, I don't look infected. I'm not gonna take a picture and put it on Facebook. Is this infected? Well, if it wasn't, it probably is now.
Yeah, okay.
You're checking it 6 times to see if
Right?
it's affected you.
So Brian's saying a big mouth
Bubbly
bubbler.
is clear. Okay, that's a good alternative.
It is.
Yeah, use that. Yeah.
So
That's
Brian,
kind of
I
the
use
best of both worlds.
so
We
you're
use
asking about
carboys and we use the carboys always in a milk crate, a plastic milk crate, which like the handling is so much easier because it has handles about the middle of the carboy, so
Okay.
the weight balance is really good, and I have the handle on it for like when it's empty and washing and rinsing and stuff, but I've been pretty happy with using them things, that combination.
Yeah, they make straps that you can put around the carboy that
Yeah,
kinda
we
do
have
same
the
thing,
strap, but it's like I really do think that the combination of the handle around the neck for the few times when you want to flip it over or whatever or something, so you have a good grip on it, and using the plastic milk crate pretty much anytime it's not upside down
Right.
You know, it's worked well for me.
Okay. So,
Wow.
Brian, little follow up to
Storm's
your
coming
thing here.
outside.
You're talking about a steel fermenter. What's the reason that you're are you considering going to a steel fermenter, and what's the reason that you're considering doing that for your setup? So we'll let him type.
I have a feeling the answer is going to be yeast collection.
Yeast collection, yeah.
I mean, just
No, I feel the same thing.
Yeah, and they look badass. I can't deny that.
I agree.
They do. They look good.
What are those things retail
I was
for?
like, what is this?
For 5 gallons, what,
Water
300,
everywhere.
$400?
I don't know that you can get like a 5-gallon steel conical.
Fairly
You
certain
can. It's gonna be a lot more than $300-400. I'll tell you that.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because I know how I like at my end. I look because like we're thinking about eventually moving up. I've been looking at prices.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
George
talking
is on the case.
$1,000.
I am, and I just found something that's interesting. Let me share this with you guys. I've heard good things about this company too. Not Northern Brewer, but Anvil.
Oh, Anvil, yeah.
275.
Yeah, that's not bad for a 7-gallon.
I'm not far off here, Polly.
Yeah, but the thing. Oh, okay. Oh, it's got the stain and everything.
Yeah.
That's not bad, to be honest with you. I stand corrected.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you really do, Polly. I think
You got
that's
a
really come.
racking arm and a dump arm. Oh my god!
Yeah,
look at
I think
that.
that's really come down in price.
Oh, well, that's a racking arm. There's the bottom arm. Oh, you gotta make sure you pull that thing out to open it.
Oh, tri-clamps. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, here's a funny thing. I was hanging out with Uncle Rick yesterday, and we were talking about brewing. And I know it's going back to give Jason shit, but now we've got something at the brewery that I'm calling the Jason clamp now.
okay. Is it an extra clamp on it to make sure that Jason doesn't open it?
Exactly. Sorry,
Good one.
Jason.
No, it's
He
all
came
right.
up with it, so I had to run with it.
Oh man.
I might put those as tags on the fermenters, so just for fun.
That's
Remind
really hope that
it reminds me of have you
Consult
guys ever
Jason before using. Right?
have you guys ever seen the plastic covers on hinges over top of like switches and things that you have to lift it up
Yep.
before you okay.
Yeah.
So that whole setup is actually called in some areas a Molly switch. Because this guy that had a data center, his daughter just loved to flip switches and things, so he created this little hinged plastic cover to prevent her from being able to just hit the switch.
A Molly switch, huh?
Yep.
All right. I'll look into this. I'll get back to you next week.
So Brian is asking, when you keg, do they come in handy for closed transfers?
They do, as long as you have a way to push the beer out with CO2. I wouldn't let oxygen in there to help so you don't oxygenate your work or your beer or whatever. But if you're coming out of the fermenter, I always push it out.
Wouldn't gravity handle most of it?
But you need air to come in. You don't want oxygen to come in.
You don't want to create a
That
vacuum.
makes sense? Yep. You
Yeah.
need something to come in, displace the air.
Okay. Yeah, CO2 would do that.
And it's kind of like you'll push it out. And me being the freak that I am, I don't want oxygen going in there.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You're oxygenating your beer. That's the whole thing about closed transfer. That's when you use CO2.
Okay, so here's the thing. This Anvil conical is actually intriguing me right now. But I will say, if this is what I'm going to do, then I'm going to figure out how to rig this damn thing for a glycol setup. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, you know?
And make sure you have the ports for the glycol.
That's what I'm
Make sure
saying.
it's jacketed. If not, move on to something else. If you want something glycol, I mean, either jacketed or actually, no. Blickman has an add-on to where you can put pretty much a immersion chiller in there to chill your work.
Yeah, the fermenter that Jason and I have, the Catalyst, has the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an immersion glycol that you can put in. I think it cuts down on the amount you can brew by like half a gallon, you know, the total capacity.
Yeah, it sounds
But-
about right.
Displacement and stuff like that. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. No, it's kind of funny because I was dealing with somebody on social media because they had a bunch of barrels and I asked them about it and I wasn't in the market for them. But then they're like, "Oh, you work at a brewery? Here, we got this." And I asked them a bunch of questions and they responded. And the next thing you know, they're sending me like the whole thing with a Blickman. I could have got a 55-gallon fermenter. That's half of what I do. Why do I need that?
Yeah.
I'm going bigger, if anything.
All right. So you guys have a lot of thoughts about this. What are
Oh,
your
Polly especially. I will stand
Yeah.
back on this one.
No chill, homebrew, go with it. Is this a guy from Southern Hemisphere?
Either him or the one in Canada, I'm not sure, but yeah.
All right. Go with it. I've had nothing but good things as a homebrewer on it. You know, just make sure you're set. Once you're transferring, do the closed transfer. Be safe about it. Sanitize. I haven't dumped a beer yet. Oh, one of those beers got me the job of where I'm working right now. I brew with Jason.
Oh, that's right. Brian's in
What was
Atlanta. Yeah, Brian's in Atlanta. The
Okay.
yeah, so the natural chill method, when you're putting it in, you're putting wort into a container at, you know, not boiling, but super hot. So I realize that you have to worry about sanitation a little bit, but do you really have to worry about it a lot since you're dumping hot wort into the container?
No, because the first time I did it, I sanitized my keg.
Okay.
I know people use an HD, that little jug. I just use my keg. And I dumped it in there. And the next morning, when I was at temperature, I transferred, pinched the yeast, and I made like a 7.8% beer one time.
Did you do a
How did I do
closed?
that? What?
Did you do a closed transfer?
To a point. I mean,
Okay.
coming out of the fermenter, it was purged out. But I went for my keg. I hooked up CO2 from my keg to my fermenter. And once I was done transferring, I oxygenated, pitched the yeast, and then went on.
Okay. That's what I was referring to, is if you just dumped it out of your keg or if you pushed it out through the
No, I
system.
pushed it out.
Okay.
I used CO2 to push it out.
Okay.
You know, George, you can go on past episodes after the infamous joint rolling episode, and I can show you how I did it.
Where's fun in that?
Yeah, you got stuck at the joint.
Yeah, I was disappointed that 420 was on a Tuesday this year. I was gonna have a field day with that with you, Polly.
We should have had a special episode that day.
Some replays.
Oh yeah,
Not even replays.
Just
Just have a
repost the episode.
special time.
That should have been the April 1st joke. Right?
No. Screw. We got Uncle Rick. This April Fool's joke was fucking amazing here.
Yeah, you
You
got
have no idea. I can't tell you how many people we got. Like, I'm talking to people like, fuck, you got me. I'm like, yeah, I did. Nick and Ivy, him. I mean, I could probably think of like 6 people. I had people from the brewery that saw the post and they watch it like, oh, it's his last show. We've been watching him doing it. Like April Fools.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
to admit,
man.
I'm really lucky because I live in Lockport, and the people at Nick and Ivy, Paul and Chrissy and Chad, the brewer, and everything, they're really some pretty cool people. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're not in the Brewers Guild, you know. So
Well, we're having a JBG meeting there.
Yeah, we are. We're headed there in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so they're in favor of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Should we
Yep.
wrap it up?
I think we should.
All right. Tune in this Saturday, Big Brew Day.
Yep.
George will be brewing in the shed, and you will get to see him live on a brew day, and you will see me and or Polly at some point in the day. So keep a look on our YouTube page for the broadcast, and we will see you here next Thursday on Facebook and YouTube as we do every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have an audio podcast under the same name, A Nice Place to Brew, on all the audio podcasting platforms. Our YouTube page has all of our past episodes going back from more than a year now. So check out our past episodes, like and subscribe to our page. It really helps the show. And our website is www.aniceplacetobrew.com, and social media is A Nice Place to Brew and Nice Place to Brew. Happy eve of Big Brew Day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And we sign off every episode the same way. We raise a glass one last time and we say, it takes a lot of good beer to make great beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers from Sasha.